welcome to Ellis Mowers and More. Seems like we've done a ton of engine swaps lately. Husqvarna Zero Turn, Troy Bilt XP Rider, Craftsman YT4000, and we're about to do another one. This is a Troy Bilt Pony. Something happened, the oil all leaked out, and I think they ran it without oil. It is seized solid. I've got an engine for this one as well. So in this video, we're going to pull this one that's in it out. I've got a 14 and a half that came off of a snapper that I bought for $25 down the road that I was told was in running condition, that we're going to put on this machine, and then we're going to have to do a belt job with transmission belts and a deck belt on it as well. Maybe blades. We'll look at them in just a second as well. Let's go ahead and get started. So an interesting story behind this one. There's a guy who bought that Husky mower from me last year. That I think he bought it from me for like $250 or something like that. The one that I had to do a bunch of stuff to. But anyways, he dropped this off and he said something free. So he's an Asian guy and we just have a bad language barrier. And that was 6 months ago. He hasn't messaged me or anything like that. So I'm assuming he just dropped this off for me. And because really putting an engine in it and putting belts and stuff on it is going to cost more than the mower's worth. So I'm going to put an engine in it and we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean 6 months, right? I deemed this abandoned. I know I could go through legal action and stuff like that, but that's not the point of this video. The point is, I just want to share the story, but the point is, we've got a 17.5 horsepower Briggs right here that is no good. So, got to pull this off. Y'all know the drill by now. Throttle, anti-backfire, 4 engine mounting bolts, a 5/8 to get the double stack pulley off, a couple of nuts to get the exhaust off, which we will have to get off of this one. The other one already had the exhaust taken off, so that's easy enough. And your 6-pin wiring harness right here to take off. We may have to swap the wiring harness over off of the other mower onto this one. If that was a snapper mower, then it probably doesn't have a provision for headlights. It just has the provision for charging the battery. So we've got that. And then this tire was flat whenever I checked it out earlier, but that one's good. The one on the left front just needs some air, and those must have tubes in them, and this one's got a tube in it also. So that right rear is the only one that I either got to put ATF in or a tube in. Here's the engine that I'm going to put on. We're going to look and see what we got to do now. It looks like it's got all the provisions that I need for charging. We will have to swap out that 6-pin connector and put all that wiring on this, which isn't a big deal, so that everything works like it's supposed to. I think, let's walk back over here. We'll check the deck out in just a second. I just want to make sure that that's all I've got to do. So the charging, right? And then I could technically, yeah, we'll probably swap over this 6-pin right here. Not a big deal at all. That's a 3-minute job. Pulling the engine cover and stuff off to do that. Mower deck, the belt's twisted. So usually when that's the case, there is no bringing it back. So we'll throw a belt on it. And, ooh, got a little oil on the mower deck there. Then if we look underneath with the blades, definitely going to have to replace the blades on it as well. Kind of appears that the mower deck has been beat in a little bit right here, so we'll probably have to beat that out some to make it work. But yeah, not too much to do, I don't think. I'm going to go ahead. Y'all see me do this many times, especially in the past few videos. I'm going to go ahead and knock out this engine, go ahead and get it off, get the new one on, and then we'll wire everything up, put oil in the new engine, and make sure everything works like it's supposed to on this machine. So, only a couple minutes here. Got it all loose. We should be able to just pull this thing right off. Now, hopefully, there we go. So obviously very dirty underneath here. Probably could justify cleaning it up a little bit. So let me do that. I'm gonna pull it outside. At least clean this front area before we put the new engine on, the little 14 horsepower that I'm gonna put on here. You go from 17.5 to a 14. This is an older 14. Quite honestly, it's probably going to be just fine. I've done this many times, and it's not hurting for power or anything like that with a 42-inch deck, because that's what they used to do anyways. Put about 14 horsepowers on them for a 42-inch deck, so no reason why it couldn't work for this. All right, we're fast forwarding. Got it all in, ready to start again. We've done this 4 times in the past 3 weeks on this channel, so exhaust got swapped over. 2 bolts. You got a bolt in the front there to underneath the valve cover that holds it on as a support. Your double stack pulley on the bottom here. Your starter nut. Your 6-prong wire, which I did change over. There's a little bit of a remnant because it runs under the flywheel, and I wasn't going to pop the flywheel to get remnant wires off. That goes over to the anti-backfire solenoid on the carburetor, as well as your kill wire for your magneto, your ignition coil. So it's in. Of course, we got the double stack pulley, the 4 mounting bolts, the throttle. Whenever you do the throttle, you mount it full throttle and get it as close as you can to the little choke arm as possible. Tighten it down. Don't go too tight. You don't want to strip anything out. And then put the fuel line in. Put the anti-backfire solenoid in. So, given all that, we're going to see if this is a running engine. That doesn't even need carb work or anything like that. And if it doesn't, hopefully it's good. I did just bump it to make sure that all of the solenoids and stuff are doing what they need to do. And it sounds like they are. So let's see if just cranking this over. I do have fresh gas in it as well. We'll get it to go. I have smoked myself out of the garage though. Man, that ain't the first time. That's alright. I never started pointing inward. If y'all know that Murray rear engine riding story, She's a runner. The belts even work pretty good for the drive, and so I might not even do anything with them, since this is just going to be a cheap little rider. But yeah, sounds good. So that's good. I don't know where that little bit of smoke is coming from. And maybe just like little pieces of oil getting knocked off and put in a hot area on the exhaust, because it doesn't seem like it's not smoking a lot when you put it at low throttle, which makes me think that it's not a head gasket problem. But I'm going to go ahead and get the mower deck back on. I'm going to put a deck belt on it as well, and blades on the mower deck, and we'll drive it around and see if this thing's ready to roll. Like I said, it's driving great. Belts are a little worn on it for the drive, but a lot of times when these things are driving like they're supposed to, I don't touch them, because these things are super sensitive. Even with new belts, even with new OEM belts, I have had them not drive correctly before. So yeah, we'll keep on going. We'll put the deck back on here next. All right, we got new blades on, and then I also found, because we were missing these guards, I found these guards. I think one of them is from an older machine, but either way, they're going to help keep the belt on. The return spring broke, but there's like a little secondary return spring. So I don't imagine we're going to have any issues with the belt coming off or anything like that. But I did have to loosen this pulley here in order to get the belt around behind the back. So I got a new belt on here, new blades, and now we're going to throw this bad boy on. It's getting dark. I'm going to finish this thing up before it gets dark so that y'all can see this thing cut grass, hopefully, here next. So unfortunately, the smoke situation did not fix itself. It was a huge cloud when I cranked it up this morning, and then at full throttle, when it has a little bit of a load on it, it still smokes some. So I'm thinking that we got hopefully just a head gasket. I've got one here, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the process. So, got to take the exhaust off and the intake off. Feel like I just did this, but like I said, I didn't know the running condition of this mower before And if this came off of a snapper, it kind of makes sense. Because those seem to run hot and be hard on the engines, so that's probably the reason why it was parked originally. So let me go get me an oil pan. We're going to take off that bolt right there. We've got our two for our intake and exhaust. This is the intake side, obviously. Looks like somebody's been in here to fix something, and they retapped threads for the intake. It's a little bit bigger of a bolt than it should be up top. No biggie. Hopefully we'll be alright whenever we put it all back on. Got to take this back off. We might be able to just, I think we can get by without having to take the whole thing off. But we do need to take off the exhaust, the valve cover. And I'm grabbing me an oil pan so that it doesn't become messy. I will take the exhaust off first though. We'll go ahead and take the plug wire off here. And might as well go ahead and take the plug out so we don't cause any problems with that. Like I said, hopefully this is all it needs. I'll go ahead and get this off while we're on camera. Sometimes I like to show how easy these are to do. You can see it's been burning oil on the plug there. So let's see. I want to get the exhaust off first. So let me grab what I need for that. Just a T40, yep. Get these two bolts off here. I mean, this thing does run good. It's just smokes. So, let's see. Now I'll get the 1/2 inch. And we'll take the 3/8 off the valve cover here. Might have a little oil come out. A little bit of oil, not much. This oil is clean because I changed it. Or put it in because there was no oil in it when I started with this. So let's do this now. All the 1/2 inch. And we'll go right here. We've got 3 more down here. Oh. There's always one. Let's break it loose. Hopefully break it loose and not break it off. I have to get a longer extension. Oh, this one might be the one, y'all. This is not good. we're gonna have that one, aren't we? This is not gonna be good if this doesn't come off. We're gonna try very diligently. Let's try this. Get a little bit more leverage on it. It's gonna come. Awesome. Okay. Whew. Last thing I want to do is for it to break off. This should be our last bolt. Let's see. Alright, sigh of relief. That's good. Head should come off now. Couple of stragglers with a thread or two in them. What did we have? Did we have any sort of break in it? I actually don't know. I can't tell. That's smooth, no crazy ridging there. So is it broken on the back side here? Everything looks good. Is it broken on the back side? Let's see. Huh. I don't see where it was. It kind of looks like it just got done. So is it possible that they didn't tighten it all the way or something along those lines? I don't know. I'm going to clean up all this area, throw on a new head gasket, and hopefully that fixes our smoking problem. I hope. But we shall see. Oh, I saw y'all saw how I disassembled everything. I'm just going to go ahead and knock it out, get it back together. We'll see if it is going to go for us next. I can't remember if I filmed it or not, but it does seem like it is better, even though it does still smoke a little bit. A lot better. It's not like pouring out smoke whenever you turn the blades on anymore, so that's good. We'll check this tomorrow morning to see if it is still the same. If it is, we'll go ahead and wash it and get it listed, I suppose. So I'll show you the difference, I guess. Smoke on startup still, but let me see. You can see it a little bit right there. also don't get why the blades won't disengage properly. It's just one of those things. I put a return spring on it to hopefully help fix it, and it still ain't bringing it back like it's supposed to. So, but it'll do it all day with it off. So it's kind of weird, but. But yeah. Just checking things. I think I am just going to run it across the yard tomorrow to see if it smokes any worse or anything like that. It does smoke some when you engage the blades, obviously. I've got to do some tire pressure adjustments and stuff because the left rear on this one is a lot taller than the right rear. And this right rear has a little bit of a plug in it, but it's held air for 2 days. So I think this left rear's just got way too much air in it. So I'm going to check that. We'll check back with this tomorrow. Hopefully, all we've got to do is clean it up and level the mower deck at this point. Hopefully. Alright guys, next morning. I have a feeling this thing's going to be a little bit of a smoke show, but we never know. We'll see what happens here. And crank it up. See what happens. So, even though it doesn't seem like it, it is definitely better than it was. Because it was smoking a lot whenever I turned the blades on. So, now it's not doing that. Now it's just doing it when you initially crank it up. And as y'all saw, it smoked pretty bad for about the first minute, but then it did clear up. So, it's just a product of having an older engine sometimes, but like I said, I bought the engine for 25 bucks. It runs great. It just smokes a little on startup, and the fact that this one didn't have an engine in it when I, got it, or had a blown up engine in it when I got it, putting this engine in. This mower, after I fixed the deck and everything, I'm going to try my best, because I've got a return spring and stuff on it, but it still doesn't want to disengage the deck. It's probably the cable's a little bit rusted on it. But I may throw a little WD-40 on that to see if I can free it up a little bit. But I'll level the mowing deck. Probably pop this thing up for about 400 or 450, and say smokes for about a minute on startup, and then it goes away. So we'll go with that. And should be a decent mower for somebody. Again, it's a little beat up and stuff, so it's not a huge loss that this engine smokes a little bit. But I'll get everything nice and cleaned up. I'll get the deck level, and I'll see if I can fix the issue with it not wanting to engage the blades or disengage the blades if you have them on for more than a few seconds. So once I'll figure all that out, and we'll wrap this video up, hopefully, here next. I do want to show you, if you don't know how to level the mower deck on one of these, get it on a level surface like a garage, and then get in here and adjust it right here for the front to lift it up, and adjust it on the side right there for side to side, only one side. So there it is. It cleaned up pretty well. Still got to do a little bit of testing with the mower deck and whatnot. I think the engagement portion may be a little bit off, but I did raise the deck like I showed you in the last clip using that front nut there, and I need to tighten that 3/4 inch back down to lock it in place. And it's raised the mower deck up, and after I did that, it was actually already level, so I didn't have to do the side to side level after I inflated all the tires to the proper pressure, and it ended up cleaning up very nice. I'll give you all a quick walk around before we finish this video. Nothing, like I said, nothing crazy. Just a good Troy Bilt Pony mower. It does, like I said, and y'all saw, smoke a little bit when you first crank it up. Usually I'd list these for about $600. I'll probably list this one for $500 because of the time of year and because of the little smoking off the top. Them first gen overhead valve brigs sometimes will have just leak past the rings a little bit after they get some hours on them, but this thing will run forever. Drives fine, cuts fine, new blades on it. I think for $500 somebody will really appreciate it and really enjoy it as just a cheapo rider. So I think it'll be a good one. But yeah, I don't know if I've shown you all the blades and everything yet, so I'll hop on it real quick, do a quick little round with it. We'll see if the blades shut off like they're supposed to. I'll take y'all down the driveway with it so that y'all could see it. Just do one little drive around with the strip and wrap this up. It's better. It's probably about as good as I'm going to be able to get it, honestly. Just with the way that these setups are, because this is the older setup for the mower deck. The newer ones are a little bit easier to mitigate, but the older ones, especially once they get a little bit of age on them, have issues and they're really hard to resolve. So, but there you go, guys. I parked it right in the sun, but y'all can see, turned out really nice. again, this is at least a $400 mower. I may be able to get $500 out of it. But again, I swapped the engine on it, and smokes for that first minute, but after that it clears up pretty well. You'll see a little hint here and there, but nothing like to the point where you're, fogging out the mosquitoes or anything like that after that first minute. I'll put that note in the description of the mower. Again, like I said, this would typically be like a $600 mower, but I'm going to list it for $5 because it's November and because of that issue. But overall, it ended up being a pretty decent mower. Blades, battery, engine. So deck level, small things like that. So I do appreciate y'all watching this small engine repair video. We've got another engine swap successfully done, and hopefully another machine that will go out and give somebody some good service for a little while. I appreciate y'all watching. I'll catch y'all on the next video.